Friends, this is the story of a zombie that not only fails to scare humans, but even a dog isn't afraid of it. In fact, this zombie is so special that people are actually paying money to get bitten by it. But what's so special about this zombie that everyone is willingly getting bitten? Let's find out in this story. The story begins with a boy who emerges from a tunnel built underground. We learn that some scientists, in an illegal attempt to cure diabetes, were conducting human experiments to create a medicine. However, their experiment failed, and the side effects of the medicine started turning people into zombies. And this boy is one of them. The zombie gets up and starts walking somewhere. Meanwhile, in the heavy rain, a couple is driving when a man throws nails on the road, causing their tire to puncture. That man then arrives with his truck and pretends to help, taking them to his gas station. This man is June, who runs the gas station with his pregnant wife, Namjo. June and his wife make a huge bill for the couple. When the man refuses to pay, June's sister Heigl comes out with a shovel in her hand. June says to her, "Did you kill him?" Hearing this, the couple thinks they killed a customer who didn't pay. Scared, they quickly pay the bill and leave. Namjo stores the money in a safe and warns her husband not to touch it, threatening to break his hand if he does. Her husband, eyeing the money greedily, says they earned big today and should at least have some meat, but Namjo scares him off. Meanwhile, the boy has now fully turned into a zombie and comes to this village. He tries to attack two women but fails to catch them, and they walk away easily. Then some kids start throwing stones at him and mock him, thinking he's just a drunk vagabond. The zombie chases the kids, but he can't catch them either. Then he encounters a dog. The zombie growls at it, ready to attack, but the dog starts chasing him instead. People on the road look at him strangely. Then we see June's deadbeat dad, Deo, playing games with other old men in the village. Suddenly, one of the old uncles comes and says, "Look, hair has started growing again on my bald head," and announces he's getting married. Seeing this, all the elderly men gather around him. Meanwhile, Mandeo starts picking up the money he lost during the game, but an uncle catches him. Just then, the same dog comes chasing the zombie into the scene. Mandeo uses the opportunity to sneak away down a narrow alley. While trying to drive the dog away, he hears noises from a washroom. When he checks inside, the zombie is hiding there and bites him before escaping. Meanwhile, Heigl is building a rabbit's grave, but the zombie comes running toward her. She punches him and he freezes in place. The dog also arrives, and seeing it, Heigl runs. Now the zombie is chasing Heigl, and the dog is chasing the zombie. Watching this chaos, people joke that a race seems to be happening. Heigl's brother Min is returning to the village after working in the city. He sees Heigl on the road and waves at her, but she ignores him and runs away. The zombie arrives, and Min also starts running, eventually overtaking his sister. Heigl falls, and the zombie is about to grab her when June arrives and hits it with his truck. They all fear the boy might be dead, but suddenly the zombie rises and growls. They think maybe he hurt his brain. The dog arrives again, and the zombie runs away upon hearing it bark. Everyone quietly leaves the area, but June is very anxious, thinking that if the boy comes back, he might send him to jail. Later, Min tells Namjo that a boy was chasing Heigl. Heigl claims he was just a random guy who was after her, but June ran him over. June corrects her and says he didn't run over anyone. Then their dad returns home with a bandage on his head. The man who brought him says a dog bit him, but their dad says that wasn't a dog. Their dad now lives in a van and dreams of visiting Hawaii. He even has pictures of Hawaii inside the van, which he looks at every night. Meanwhile, the zombie boy, running from the dog, ends up in their garage. Hearing noises, Heigl goes to the garage, followed by her dad. When they turn on the red light, they see it's the same boy who bit Mandeo. He tries to attack Heigl. She runs and wakes her brothers. June sees his dad attacking the zombie boy, but his rice wine bowl breaks. June then comes and smashes the zombie with a flying kick, slamming him into the wall, where a rod pierces his chest. Heigl and Namjo arrive with weapons, thinking the zombie is dead. But then the zombie lifts his head, and the whole family panics and runs. They manage to lock him inside the garage. June realizes it's the same boy he hit with his truck. They think he's back for revenge, but Min, observing his behavior, realizes he's a zombie. To explain this to everyone, Min shows them the film, Train to Busan. They finally understand what's happening and realize their dad will also turn into a zombie, since he was bitten by one. Now, they all stand far away from their dad. The dad asks, "So, What will happen to me now? And just then, Namjo knocks him out with a frying pan. Together, they all lock him up in their own van and secure it from the outside. That night, Min stays up researching about zombies. By morning, he tells everyone that he's created a survival guide on how to survive a zombie outbreak based on his research. He explains that when a zombie bites a human, the virus slowly spreads inside them, and eventually they also turn into a zombie. Meanwhile, we see their dad, who regains consciousness, but he hasn't turned into a zombie. He's completely fine. He sees an opening on the top of the van and escapes through it. Back at home, Min tells June that they need to kill their dad because he might turn into a zombie. But right then, their dad comes upstairs, and everyone goes silent upon seeing him. He seems perfectly fine, and even sits down for breakfast. However, everyone suspects that he's already turned into a zombie. Namjo gets ready to knock him out again with a frying pan. Just as he opens his mouth, Min attacks him, thinking he's a zombie, and knocks him out. Seeing this, the group beats up Min and kicks him out of the house. Meanwhile, the zombie they had captured is still locked up and happily munching on cabbage. High Goal comes to check on him and sees that he's enjoying cabbage peacefully. She assumes this zombie is vegetarian. She tries talking to him, but he keeps eating cabbage. She names him Jung. The next day, we see their dad in the washroom. He notices that he's becoming younger again. Excited, he gathers all the old men in the village to show them that he's getting younger. Looking at himself in the mirror, he sees black hair growing back on his bald head. All the elderly men are shocked and ask what he's been eating. That's when Mandog realizes the zombie bite is reversing his aging. Meanwhile, High Goal and Namjo are with the zombie. Thinking he's dangerous, Namjo removes all his teeth so he can't bite anyone. Later, when their dad sees the zombie, he's overjoyed. He now sees the zombie as a magical cure for youth and starts dancing with excitement. Watching from outside, his sons assume the virus is taking over and making him act crazy. Soon, the uncle who's about to get married shows up and begs Mandog to help him become young again too. He even offers money. This gives Mandog an idea. He can use this opportunity to raise money and go to Hawaii. Min overhears everything and also gets an idea. The next day, all the old men come to Mandog with money, wanting to become young again. Mandog takes them to the zombie, but the zombie is missing. Min had put the zombie in a truck and was driving it to the city, hoping to sell it for money. But on the way, police stop him. One of the officers knows Min, so Min tries to talk his way out. However, the other officer becomes suspicious. Upon checking the truck, they find the zombie. Both Min and the zombie are taken to the police station. The officers take pictures of the zombie, but he looks normal to them. Min insists he's a zombie. The police chief thinks Min is joking and gets angry, almost hitting him, but the other officer stops him. Just then, Min's dad, High Goal, and Namjo arrive. Shockingly, the dad declares the zombie to be his new son, completely ignoring his real son Min. The officers are confused, as they know the family. Mandog takes the zombie from the station, but a police officer secretly takes the zombie's fingerprints. That night, Mandog tells his son that the zombie bite has made him younger and that he's going to Hawaii. Meanwhile, High Goal notices the zombie is no longer eating cabbage. She checks and sees someone broke his teeth. She tells everyone. The dad's dreams of Hawaii collapse. Without teeth, the zombie can't bite anyone and thus can't make anyone younger. Suddenly, all the old men arrive, still hoping to get bitten. Mandog calls the village's oldest man, who has fake teeth. Mandog puts those fake teeth in the zombie's mouth and tells the men to insert their hands. Everyone is scared. The oldest man volunteers, but it takes too long, so another old man steps up. The zombie doesn't bite. Then, Namjo smears ketchup on his hand, and the zombie bites. The men pull the bitten uncle out, while others try to keep the zombie back. They barely save him. Terrified, they begin to leave. But the oldest man insists on getting bitten, so they all return. Thanks to the zombie, the family earns a lot of money. Namjo locks all the money safely in a box. The next morning, all the old men feel stronger and younger. They are overjoyed, running around the village like youths. But Namjo, June, Min, and High Goal realize their dad has tricked them and run off to Hawaii with all the money. June finds the van empty, and they're left disappointed. Min tries to take advantage of the moment and take the zombie away again. But Namjo catches him and chases him down, teaching him a lesson. Hai-gol then takes the zombie to a cabbage field. Seeing so many cabbages, the vegetarian zombie goes wild, happily eating them. Hai-gol tries teaching him to say her name, but he can't. So she steals his cabbage and runs, making the zombie chase her. They both fall. Just then, June shows up and attacks the zombie again, thinking he was about to bite Hai-gol. They then see many villagers with weapons heading to their house. Namjo is still chasing Min when they all see June running toward them, shouting to run. Namjo and Min see the angry villagers and hide inside their house. They assume the villagers found out about the scam, but instead, the same uncle from earlier comes forward and says, "Come out. Look, I brought new customers. These new men also want to get bitten." Min realizes it's business time and asks them to line up. One by one, people start paying to get bitten. The money pours in, and Namjo's empty money box fills up again. They move the zombie from the garage into their dad's van. Min gifts the zombie new teeth so he can enjoy cabbage again. Hai-gol takes him to a barber and gets him a makeover with new clothes. But the zombie is still a zombie and can't do anything properly. Still, they use their wealth to renovate their gas station. That night, the family enjoys a fancy dinner. But when Hai-gol is dropping the zombie off at the van, she overhears Min talking to someone about selling the zombie. The next day, a police officer matches the zombie's fingerprints and realizes Mandog lied. This zombie isn't his son. We then see the wedding of the uncle, which is finally happening in a church. But suddenly, all the people bitten by the zombie start feeling hot. Meanwhile, Hai-gol gives the zombie a bag full of cabbages and ketchup and tells him to run away, knowing Min is planning to sell him. The zombie starts following her, but she yells at him to go and leaves. When Min comes to collect the zombie, he finds him gone. Min searches the whole village and eventually finds the zombie standing alone in the woods. Min takes the zombie with him and starts heading towards Sing City. But now, all the people who were bitten by this zombie begin turning into zombies themselves. Meanwhile, at the church, when an old uncle is asked to kiss his wife, he ends up biting her because he had already turned into a zombie. Within moments, all the elderly people turn into zombies. Instead of enjoying the feast, they start attacking and eating people, creating chaos throughout the church. The zombies spread everywhere and start attacking others too. On the other side, Min sees multiple zombies approaching and, frightened, abandons his zombie companion and runs away. Meanwhile, Hai-gol, sitting in the van, is remembering her zombie friend. Suddenly, another zombie shows up. Scared, she runs to June and Namjo. The zombie follows them, but Namjo shoots it in the head and knocks it out. Just then, the police officer arrives and accuses them of trying to kill an innocent person. He assumes the zombie is a normal human and calls it toward him, but the zombie bites the officer. Soon, more zombies arrive. Seeing this, the three of them rush into their house and start blocking all the doors. Namjo asks June to close another door quickly because a zombie is approaching from that side too. June checks and realizes it's his old friend. His friend says, "Don't you recognize me? We studied together." But the man has become a zombie. Namjo tells June to forget about his friend and close the door after killing the zombie. But June, wanting to honor their friendship, hesitates. The zombie attacks June, but Namjo shoots it in the head and throws it out. They close the door, but many zombies start surrounding the house. The three go upstairs to save themselves. Meanwhile, Namjo starts experiencing labor pain. They begin reading Min's diary to find a way to protect themselves and wear clothes and utensils to avoid zombie bites. Meanwhile, Min is hiding under a bus surrounded by zombies. Suddenly, a call comes to his phone. Hearing the ringtone, the zombies start heading toward him. Min quickly throws the phone away, distracting them, and escapes. He finds a truck and starts heading toward his home. Night falls. Many zombies are still roaming outside their house, and some have already entered. The group hides upstairs. Namjo suddenly screams in pain, and the zombies hear her. They start coming upstairs and break through the barricade, so the three of them climb to the roof through a window. Namjo remembers her box of money and goes back for it. While returning, a zombie attacks her, but she somehow escapes and makes it to the rooftop. They use a path across the rooftop to reach the van. Just then, Min arrives and distracts the zombies. He attacks them using firecrackers. June yells, "Stop! What are you doing? This is a gas station. It could explode." But by then, the fireworks in the truck have already ignited. Min quickly escapes the truck and the fireworks cause a huge blast. The light and noise attract even more zombies, including the very first zombie, who also heads toward their house. Meanwhile, Namjo's labor pain intensifies. They plan to connect the van to the truck and escape to the hospital. Min and June disguise themselves with zombie clothes to smell like them and act like zombies, making weird sounds like ZZ Zambi. But the zombies still attack them near the truck. Hai Gull comes out with a chain and lures the zombies away, fighting them. During this, she falls, but the first zombie shows up again and saves her. Meanwhile, a zombie climbs to the roof and short-circuits a bunch of wires, causing party lights and music to play. The zombies are distracted and start dancing to the music. Taking advantage of the distraction, June sneaks inside. But the lights go out, the music stops, and the zombies head toward June. Just then, Namjo gives birth, and the baby's cries draw the zombies toward the van. June manages to get inside, fights the zombies, and returns upstairs. Other zombies have entered the garage and one tries to climb into the van, but Hai Gull drives it away. She and her zombie friend work together to keep the zombies away. June grabs the truck keys but gets caught by several zombies. He throws the keys to Min, who catches them. June, facing death, tells Min to take care of his wife and child. It seems June has died. Enraged, Min starts the truck and drives over the zombies. The truck pulls the van along. Hai Gull climbs into the van and calls her zombie friend to join, but he stays behind to protect them from the other zombies. Min continues driving but crashes into the gas station. Gasoline spills everywhere, and the truck sprays it over the zombies. Suddenly, June returns. He had survived. Together they escape with the truck and van, but Hai Gull's zombie friend stays behind. She's heartbroken. That zombie friend is now fully cured and says Hai Gull's name. Other zombies attack him, but he ignites a lighter, causing a massive explosion that destroys everything, but saves Hai Gull and the others. By morning, the survivors are leaving the city. Suddenly, June starts turning into a zombie because he had been bitten too. Min gets out, locks June inside, and is unsure what to do. Then they hear footsteps from a tunnel. It's their dad, returning from his Hawaii trip. Surprisingly, he hasn't turned into a zombie despite being bitten. They realize he's immune to the virus. Soon, a radio announcement says South Korea is under a zombie crisis, and anyone who is immune should contact authorities, as they could help find a cure. Hearing this, the group decides to help others using their father's immunity. 6 months later, they have cured many people and are helping in other places too. High school's zombie friend has also fully recovered and is working with them. Everyone is happy, except their dad, who is still suffering because he has to bite every zombie's arm to cure them. He bites them, and the zombies turn back into normal humans. With this funny and emotional ending, the story concludes. Friends, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like it, and if you're new to our channel, please subscribe. See you in the next video.